Editing Lisa, cut this out. This is garbage. Hello everyone, my name is Lisa and I'm the Viet Vegan because I'm Vietnam vegan, and today we're making sourdough discard cookies. Now you might be wondering, what the heck is discard? If you've been following my bread adventures on Instagram at all, you might know that I have been making a lot of sourdough bread, as many other people have in quarantine. Sourdough was something that I always really wanted to do, so as a result, I procrastinated for many years because I was afraid. I mean, to be fair, it is pretty time intensive, but I am glad to be on this journey now. I have a couple older videos of sourdough bread. I think one of my first loaves that I did, and then also my new and improved loaf. Since then, I've like perfected my method, I guess, and I've basically just simplified it, and I found that it yields a much better bread. So I'll have a video and a recipe post coming out for that soon. With sourdough bread comes a lot of discard because you have a starter, you like discard part of the starter to refeed that starter, and then you have hungry starter that is ready to be turn into whatever. A lot of people might compost that, a lot of people fry that up. I like to put it in a fridge and bake it for different things. I am actually in the process of baking a loaf of bread that I've made from sourdough discard to see if my starter is strong enough to withstand being in the cold and also being baked. We'll see how that goes. We'll let you know. Here's the crumb for it. Results, future Lisa can only know. But anyway, we're making sourdough discard cookies. I basically am using this to use up sourdough discard and make delicious cookies. And I found that it adds a really nice tenderness to the cookies. It's just a good way of using sourdough discard and adding a little bit more probies to your diet. And by probies, I mean probiotics. I'm probably like ruining my mic as I do that. But yeah, let's just make some cookies. We're making cookies in the stand mixer. You can do this by hand, using a hand mixer, whatever you want. Don't do what I did and don't use cold butter because it's a lot easier to mix when you don't have cold butter. So I have all the measurements by weight as well as by volume on my blog. I prefer by weight. It's a lot more precise and accurate. If you don't have a good kitchen scale, I'll link mine on my Amazon shop. You don't have to buy that one specifically, and you don't have to buy from Amazon. I'm just letting you know which one I have. Ideally, you want to buy one that's accurate to 0.1 grams. You're gonna cream together the butter and the sugar. I'm using an equal amount of brown sugar and white sugar. Brown sugar adds the softness, the chew, the flavor. White sugar adds the structure. If you only add white sugar, it's gonna be a very crisp cookie. If you only add brown sugar, it'll be very like an overly soft cookie. For those who are wondering, yes, white sugar is typically not vegan unless you live in Canada, where most of our sugar is vegan friendly. I use Red Path or Atlantic sugar, but for those who are in the US, organic white sugar is always vegan. So you're gonna cream the butter and sugar together. It'll be nice, creamy, fluffy, provided that you have brought your butter to room temperature. If not, you might have to wait a little bit like I did, but that's fine. You can just beat it into submission. Once that is all fluffy, nice, like this, you're gonna add in a little bit of vanilla extract, and you're gonna add in half a cup of sourdough discard. I've weighed mine, and I've had two varying amounts. I've had a half cup be 60 something grams. I've had a half cup be 110 grams. I don't know what happened. That's why I go by weight. And by weight, you wanna do 110 grams. You mix that, you don't wanna blend it too much because you don't wanna like overwork the gluten that's in the sourdough discard. It is digested, it is happy, and it's like really long and elastic, but you don't wanna like, you know, wind it up too tight, you know what I'm saying? Blend that until it's just blended, and then you're gonna add your flour, your baking powder, and your baking soda. What I typically like to do is I like to mix those dry ingredients separately in a bowl and whisk them together because you don't want a pocket of baking soda in your cookies. That's not gonna be tasty. Blend that together. Mix it up, add a little bit at a time. I like to do like half and half. So I do half the flour, mix it all in until it's mostly mixed in, do the other half, mix that all in, and then you're gonna add your chocolate chips. I've added about 80 grams of chocolate chips. I'm pretty sure that's about half a cup. Feel free to add more, but I found that it makes a great amount of cookies. So I think the total, when I baked everything, I had 3 trays of cookies. I did 12, 12, and 11. 35 cookies. That's what this recipe makes. Preheat your oven to 350. Let your dough rest in the bowl in the fridge for at least half an hour. This just gives the dough a little bit more time to relax, especially because it is a bit of a thicker dough. At least mine it was anyway. So you want to give it a chance to just relax. chill out. Plus it gives the sourdough discard a little time to do a little munchy munch, you know, add a little extra flavor. I use like a cookie scoop. I'll link my cookie scoop in my Amazon shop. Again, you don't have to buy that one specifically, and you don't have to buy from Amazon. I'm just letting you know which one I have. Scoop out your cookies onto a baking sheet that is lined. I use a silicone liner, but you can use parchment, either or works. You want to use like a nice heavy bottom pan. I really like these like aluminum jelly roll pans. I've seen them at Costco. I bought these like a really long time ago when I was in like a big macaron phase before I was even vegan. So I've had these for like years and years and years. Anyway, I digress. Before you bake them, you can at this point add a little sprinkling of maldon salt, a little bit of crunchiness. Maldon salt is large flake salt crystals. They kind of look like fun salt pyramids, but they're hollow. They're really fun to eat, and they add a really nice texture to your cookies. Plus a little pop of salt makes it a little bit better, you know, makes the sweetness not too sweet, makes it just right. Then you're gonna bake them for about 10 to 12 minutes. 10 if you like really soft, gooey cookies. 12 if you like crisp edges, chewy center. You'll know when they're done because they'll have poofed out, they'll like have melted out, and then they'll chill a little bit and they'll like flatten. And then when you take them out, they'll flatten and deflate a little bit more. You'll have a nice, chewy, crisp cookie. Let them rest on the cookie sheet for about 1 to 2 minutes. Scoop them off, put them on the baking rack to cool, and then you have yourself a nice, gooey cookie. Oh yeah. I love these cookies. I actually know that I have very little self-control, so I have specifically only baked 1 tray of this batch in particular, and then I froze the rest. I scooped them out into like little balls using the cookie scoop, flash froze them in the freezer until they were frozen, transferred them to silicone bags. I have stasher bags, and now I have a batch of cookies whenever I heckin' want, and they'll be fresh, nice, gooey cookies. So these are cookies that I baked two days ago. They're still, okay, that wasn't as chewy, but you know what, it's fine. It's pretty chewy though. Oh, it's still good like 2 days later. This will be good with coffee. I haven't had coffee yet. This is a good cookie. Okay, I need to stop eating so I can finish this video. The recipe will always be on thevietvegan.com. I hope you try this. If you don't have sourdough discard, that's fine. I have another version of these cookies without the sourdough discard. Basically, you use flax egg instead. How many of you have been baking sourdough? Because I want to know how many recipes with discard you want. Because I'm pretty sure most people are not doing this anymore. That was like a wave 1 quarantine sort of deal. And I was on it during like wave 2 quarantine. And now we're on wave 3 quarantine. So we're here now. Anyway, I really enjoy these cookies. If you make them, please let me know. Please tag me on Instagram. I have a bunch of you who love my sourdough banana bread. Also uses a lot of discard, and it makes a very tasty sourdough bread. I have been enjoying seeing you tag me in those. So if you make this, tag me on Instagram. I'm the Viet Vegan pretty much everywhere. I hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a delicious day. Goodbye. I don't know why I did that. Why did I do that? That's so weird. Scoop out the cookies onto like a parchment paper or a silicone baking lined pan on a lined parchment baking sheet. Oh my God, what am I saying?